I have all my heavy clothes, and this is summer, and my suitcase is in bedsheets. Oh my god! I open, and there are two men, and I'm like, okay, I think I got this hostel wrong. And I close.
Guys, we're now gonna catch our conversation from the previous episode. If you've not listened to it, it would make a lot of sense first to pause this one. Just go back and listen to the previous episode where we are talking about relocating. And now, just to give you a little recap, you're now in Germany. What happens next? So you're at the train station. You've met two wonderful women who are Kenyan typically.
Yeah.
What happens next for you?
So, firstly, when I got my suitcases, they were broken.
Oh no.
So they really helped me. Like, we were just like carrying my items everywhere because they were all over.
Yeah.
And then we got into the train, and they're like, "Don't worry, the officers are not gonna catch you."
You used the train?
Yeah,
okay.
I did. Because then they're like, "No, let's flash it." So I don't even know. I cannot remember how from the airport to the train. I can't even remember like how we went through all that place.
Yeah.
Because I remember being at the airport and being like, "Oh my god, this is such a huge airport."
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm gonna pick a cab because I have cash. So the first thing I did actually was to convert like all the money I have. I had to convert all the money I had from cash to euros. So I was like, if I get a fine, because I had Googled, it's gonna be like 60 to 120.
Yeah.
And I have like, I have sufficient cash. I'm just gonna pay off the fine. That's what I was thinking. And then but I kept praying and being like, oh my god, I really hope I don't get caught. I hope I don't get caught. Yeah. And I don't know where I'm going. So we get there, and then
where were you going?
So I was going to meet her. From the airport to meet her.
Yeah.
So I don't even know where meet her is. Like I'm looking and I'm like, where is this place? Yeah. Also, I came and I don't have any internet.
Yeah, that's for sure. So, only at the airport.
Yeah, even at the airport, it wasn't connecting to mine. So I was
ulikuja na mchinku. You brought your China phone here.
Yeah, it's my China phone. That was the reason.
That's the problem.
So I wish I knew that was the problem.
Yeah.
Because I would just like, what do you call it? AirDrop. I don't even know how AirDrop works. I was just AirDrop
is a feature for iPhone that allows you to send pictures, girl.
I thought it allows you to also look for cabs. So
maybe I don't know much.
Maybe I'm playing.
Yeah.
So I got to Berlin Central Station.
Yeah.
And there's so many people. Remember, I have like a broken suitcase. So my clothes are all over the place. I actually even put out a bed sheet and then I like tied it around the suitcase.
Really? Oh my god. Okay, look. You look like that.
I know, that was what I was thinking.
I judge these people when I must have judged you.
I was like, oh my god, I know these people think I'm poor. I swear I'm not.
Oh my god, she's from the village.
Because I didn't know how else to tie my suitcase. Like that was such a bad. I don't even like remember it. Yeah, I felt like everyone was looking at me with my suitcases, and then it was like at summer.
Yeah,
and coming from from Kenya, also like one of the travel hacks is if you have any heavy clothes, just wear them.
Yeah,
so you don't have to go through the checkpoint. So me, I have all my heavy clothes, and this is summer. And my suitcase is in bed sheets. Oh my god, I looked.
You are so lost.
And then I go there, and then I stand, like outside Berlin Central Station, and I see some cabs, and I'm like trying to flag cabs down. And then like first two drivers are like speaking German, and I'm like, I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah.
And then they drive away, and I was like, they must think I'm so poor. I swear, I'm gonna pay you your money. So the third one comes, and then I'm like, location.
Yeah.
Because I had taken a screenshot.
Yeah, over the hotel.
Of the hotel. So I showed him like, this is where I want to go, and then he puts like the screenshot of the hotel.
Yeah.
And then I mean that's what helped me because I didn't also have internet. And then now they took me to the hotel, and then when I got there, because there was also a hostel.
Yeah.
So that was like where I got my first culture shock. I go to the hostel and I'm like, this is what was affordable for me.
Oh. Okay.
And I walk in and I get to the room. Obviously, I open. I'm expecting it's a hostel full of women.
Mm-hmm.
And then I open and there are two men. And I'm like, okay, I think I got this hostel wrong. And I close, look at the number, and then I'm going to the guys. Yeah, and I'm asking like,
is this mine?
Yes. They're like, yeah, I thought you booked. Is this not yours? Yeah, yours is the bed at the. And I'm like, oh my god.
With 2 other guys.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh my god, this is how people live in Germany. Yeah. There's no privacy, and like, so that was one of the biggest culture shocks I had. Like, there's no, people are not really big on like you're female, you're male.
Yeah,
you just.
We have them all. She, they, them, they, thee, those, thou. We have it all, and we respect it. Yeah. So nice. I mean, wow. Okay, that was a grand entrance. Like, I would, if I were you from the previous episode, I would have gone back immediately. I would not have even waited for 4 days. I'll be like, something is really wrong. I need to go back home. Yeah. For me, I came in now I found a new family because I couldn't go back to Düsseldorf, after you've left them. So you're like a little bit guilty.
Yeah.
I came to Berlin, and my family picked me up at the airport, and then they brought me to their place. Because the good thing with
how did you find a house so fast within 2 weeks?
Because a family. Because I already have the visa. That makes a family now a little bit more trusted. They're like, oh, we don't have to do all this process. Yeah. And I tell you, I was speaking German. Hey, you could not have with my A1. Hey, I was Guten Morgen. Like I said on the previous episode, I know, right? Like I said on the previous episode, I learned my German real quick. Everybody went to class with me. I was the loudest, and I knew everything. Yeah. But don't forget, it was Mr. Jogona teaching. Yeah. There was no one person teaching. So suddenly I'm coming here, I'm like hyped, Guten Morgen yangu, it's gonna give. That is also one culture shock that I had that really got me.
And then they're like, no, I speak are you speaking German?
Exactly. And I'm like, I'm giving my best. You can say this is German.
Do you know I got 100% you?
Do you want to see my transcript from Goethe Institute of Nairobi? Do you know who I am back there? Mm-hmm. So for me, coming back the second time, I was already decided. So I went in, and why are you crying? Because
it's so funny. So
I like it. So it was just nice. They took me to their home, and then immediately I now settled. I was like settled in my mind, because the first time it was more mental to go back home so I was already decided, whatever happens, you're gonna stay. And I stayed until now. But for me also, what was so shocking, the language maybe to begin with, because I thought I know, but actually I didn't know. And then having to tell people to speak a little bit slower.
Well, you're not trying to ask people like to speak in English? Or you were like, oh no, let's do this German. What? I'm also German.
No, the men that I was meeting, I would request them to speak in English, because that makes me bolder, You don't want to go Katiana in German. Oh my, what? Even right now that I can speak fluent German, I don't think I would flirt in German. How would you flirt in German? Topic for another day, but wow, come to think of it.
Hallo, wie heißt du? Was machst du? Kannst du Sport machen?
I think we should do a full episode where we are both speaking in German. It will be the funniest shit ever, I guess. Mm-hmm. So I settled, and then I immediately wanted to enroll to school. So that now is November, December. My settling was not so bad. And then I wanted to enroll to school. And then I enrolled to a German school. And in that period, I mean, in the December period, I was also a little bit culturally shocked. Yeah. Because now they start with the lightings. I mean, it's so beautiful in December in Germany, I guess.
Compared to your home, how was your how was Christmas back then? And then now you come here and there's like a Christmas market.
Yeah, it was different. In the beginning, I liked it because I was like, oh wow, Christmas starts in December 1st here, Yeah. Because that's where you buy the calendar, like you have to open every day a small gift. I was like, oh, I made it, But the Christmas party itself, no, it's work. Like, first of all, Christmas is on 24th here. I was used to 24th, you have to go to Kesha. Like, there was no Christmas without Kesha.
Yeah.
Like, how would you celebrate 25th without Kesha, 24th?
Mm.
So there was nothing like that. And then this is the only time my family, like, I was living with them. That is the only time they go to church for 1 hour on Christmas on the 24th. And then
what do they do?
Just sing chorals. And then it's not even nice. You know, no, it's not that bad. But you know the way we do it, like, we have these
drums,
acting,
like,
yeah, you know, like, it's giving
like,
Christmas, like Jesus is born, literally, yeah, you know. Here it is, I don't know, singing hymns, and then now you go, you have dinner, and that's it. Like, dinner just on a table.
Why is it on 24th and not 25th?
Ask me something else. Ask me something else. And so that is one thing that I was like, now I could pay everything right now to be back home and celebrate. Akukuwa na matumbo. What is Christmas without matumbo? Like, yo, hi.
So this is your first Christmas. So you come, and now it's December, and it's your first Christmas.
Yeah, I experienced it, and I already tell myself, okay, you just have to live with it the way it is. And then what else maybe that took me aback is actually not much, because when I came back, I was full swing, like, okay, I'm gonna make it happen. And then I had this family now, and this was a bigger family. And then so I felt more and more comfortable, and then I kept talking my shitty German. But that helps really when you're traveling to a country where you can speak the language. One thing that I would advise you is keep speaking it the way you're speaking it. It will only get better. It will only get better. That I enrolled to German, and that's one thing I must brag. 6 months later, I got my C1 certificate.
That is really commendable.
I know, right?
Yeah, you're very determined.
Actually, I was focused. Really, I was really. When I came to Europe, I would have made money long time ago.
How did you? Well, because now we're speaking, like, you know, the transition.
Yeah.
So, and moving, relocating, joining a school. You said.
Yeah.
And you joined university.
That is way later.
So what school did you join? How did you join the language school? How are you juggling between the two of them?
The language school, I went just online and I looked for the best recommended, because I wanted the best, and I wanted something that can work with my schedule, because as an au pair, you have time when the kids are in the kindergarten, because basically being an au pair is just taking care of kids, you know. Yeah. And so I needed a school that is intensive, but also can work with my schedule. So I got this school. I can name them because it's not marketing. It's just they're good. They're called Deutsche Academy if you want to study. And I think they have online classes now. So if you're in Kenya, you can already join, so that when you apply for your au pair visa, it works out. Yeah. I joined them, and 6 months down the line, I finished my studies. I did my exam. I got my C1, and that was it. I finished my 1 year as an au pair.
So I'm sorry to take you back.
Well, no problem.
So now you have your visa.
Yeah.
And your visa was supposed to take how long?
Usually I got it for 6 months, but when you come here now, you have like 2 weeks to renew it to a residence permit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So within this period now, your 6 months, you studied already German, and now you transitioned to a different visa.
I transitioned immediately. I think when I came back to Berlin in November, in December I had an appointment. We transitioned. Now I got a 1 year au pair visa, which is somehow the resident permit. And then when I got that is now 6 months in it. I did my German classes, and then I continued being an au pair. It's not that after the German classes I stopped being an au pair. I continued being an au pair until September of the same year. Yeah. And then that's when I started planning, okay, what are you gonna do? And first of all, I got a 1 year visa of preparation to join university. But I wanted it because I wanted to go back home for like 6 months. But and travel a little bit, because when you're an au pair, really you just connected to the family, so you get to do things with the family. You don't get to explore a lot because you don't have like very many free days. Ni kama tu mboch mwenye nakwanga na off Sunday. That's what it is. Yeah, I mean, you have a lot of free time, but you see, it's Monday to Friday. It's like an everyday job, so you can just wake up and be like, okay, next week actually I'm going to Switzerland, because I don't know, it was quite hard. I got holidays, and I traveled, but it's very minimum. It's not like you have. So after that, I took this Vorbereitungs visa, and it was 1 year. I wanted to like travel, go back home for a couple of months, just before enjoy Europe before I joined the university to do my master. And apparently I couldn't do that because now I flew back home in March of 2020, and that's when COVID started.
Oh, wow.
And then I know, I got an email from the embassy, no, from the immigration's office. Hey, Caroline, you hold our residence permit and we're about to close borders. Do you want to come back, or should we close and just stay there? I was like, say no more. Flight tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah, I did. I panicked. I was like, if they close down and then I have to stay here and then my visa is over, how am I going to go back? So I just came back. And then now I transitioned from this to student visa.
Did you? But you didn't have to go back to Kenya, not again for another 2 weeks.
No, I went to Kenya. So when I was in Kenya, that's when COVID started. COVID was just rumors.
Yeah.
So in Kenya, it came, and Germany, it came really well in March. Yeah. That's when you're hearing lockdown. And the Western countries were so quick to lock down everything.
Yeah, that's true.
So now that's when I got the email in Kenya. I had gone to Kenya with a friend of mine. So we both got the email. But his email had an extra thing where it said, we will come get you because you are our citizen. And he was like trying to convince me, let's say, they'll come get us. I was like, get who? You stay, I go. And it's a good thing we didn't stay, because after that, I think that was the flight we came back with. It was Lufthansa, and that was the last flight.
Was it packed fully?
No, it was not. It was not.
That is so interesting.
Yeah, it was not.
So you guys were panicky when you
me, because I was like, hey, me nishazoea maisha Europe. If my visa expires and I'm there, what am I going to do?
But you're very thoughtful, like, through this all, because I feel like if someone was panicky and just thinking in terms of like, oh, how am I going to see my parents again?
I was in Kenya and I saw how much I'm spending and I didn't have a source of money there. I was like, girl,
just go
think
back
twice. So I came back.
Wow, that is so nice of you. Well, for me, I stayed in a hotel. I think my takeout on this episode is, when you come, please make sure you have accommodation. I didn't think that was a big deal, but like when I came here, obviously I didn't have accommodation, so I had to hop from one hotel to the other. And that was very expensive.
I can imagine.
So, and like, obviously when you come here, they always create demand. It's almost like a marketing thing that they create like a fake demand scenario. So every single time I used to like book for a house, they continuously kept increasing the prices. And I felt like, although I really rushed to come to Germany, I wish this is one thing I would have done differently, because they were telling me at the agents, like, oh, you need to do something different. But the guy I was dating at that time was like, oh, you're taking it, take it easy. How many people do you think relocate and find an accommodation? Wow. It's not as bad as you think. I was like, oh, say no more. Yes, daddy. And then also my dad was like, no, you're gonna figure it out and you get that. So when I came, I was like, yeah, obviously I'm gonna figure it out, because I thought it's just like in Nairobi when you're house hunting, like walking from one house to the other. I didn't know how bad it was. So if this would be like for anyone who wants to come to Germany, please make sure you have accommodation, because it can be really hard without it. And then almost everything is linked to accommodation. Your bank statements, your residence permit, like almost even your hospital. For you to even like cough, you almost need your residence permit. So
I mean, we will write down in the comment section and pin it for you guys how as a student you can get cheap, affordable residence accommodation before you come, because that's one thing that's going to put you into depression immediately.
I know. Oh my God, ask me. I think I stayed for like 2.5 months while living in hotels. Oh my God, let me tell you, I felt that money, I still feel like I should have bought that Volvo you're talking about.
I know, right?
And then having to stay there, and then now this creation of like a fake demand scenario, and they keep increasing the house. So the last house I got, I was just like, it was out of impulse. How can I not get a house anymore? And my dad is like, I want to go to a shed. My dad is like, the same shed you guys are sharing with men, hell no. My sister, hell no. My ex-boyfriend, hell no. You're not gonna get a shed.
Yeah.
Like, but it's very expensive. I don't know how I'm gonna budget. It's beyond my budgeting. And you have, obviously, I think for the students you have to have like a blocked account. I'm not sure how much the money is.
I don't know. I think my blocked account was like 10,450 euros.
But I actually had, right now it's probably like 1,200 euros.
12,000
euros.
Why does it keep increasing? But I think because of also the inflation, maybe it has gone high. So also, if you're planning to come here as a student, that is one thing. Start planning your finances first, because you will not get your visa if you don't have a sum of whatever it is in your block account as a student. But also, guys, there's so many ways of relocating. Please try and inform yourself online. There's a lot of materials you can read. You can read everything, but you don't have to trust anything. And also, it works best when you do it for yourself. You can always ask for help, but first of all, it starts with you.
Yeah, that's true. You need to do, because even before I chose my agents, obviously I had to do my due diligence. Who's gone there? What do they do? How did they make sure that these people got there? And I would really feel like they really helped. We're just not keen on the accommodation issue, which I feel like that was my mistake, because it really, now coming here, it really delayed like a lot of processes for me, because I couldn't get like a SIM card, I couldn't open a bank account, I couldn't. It was stressful.
I can imagine.
So many people had made, like people I came in with, I felt like they were almost 10 steps ahead, and I was still struggling, like, let's find accommodation. They already had a bank account. They could also always get employment. I couldn't get employment because you have to have
bank details, residence permit.
So it was stressful.
I think that part I skipped, because coming in as an au pair, you're being received by a family which provides accommodation for you, and being 1 year in Germany, it gives you also time to see, okay, I'm soon moving out, I need to find an apartment, and one thing, I'm so happy, and this is my story, it's not your story. I've not suffered in terms of accommodation in Germany. You can be lucky and you can be unlucky. I mean, and most of the time people are unlucky, so please do try and fix it before you're here, because for me that 1 year gave me a lot of grace to start applying, and then I applied and I got, and I'm now living here for the longest.
That is so amazing. Mine was so different. I feel as though if I were you, I would have left a long time ago, because for me, like, the drawbacks, and also firstly, there's this hotel when I went to, I didn't even have funds for it, so my sister actually financed my stay in the hotel. And we didn't think how expensive it was gonna be. Billy Likuja. Okay, good. My gosh, mpaka pesa ilikata kutoka kwa account because of how huge. The account shook.
We are not paying this.
Which purchase did you? And then I was like, I think we need to call Dad. So I was there sitting, with my red big T-shirt that say I'm a winner, and now I'm really losing.
You're losing it all. Your money.
And then I'm sitting there, and the transaction is not going through, and the guys are like, and I was like, I swear, I'm not poor. Now I start remembering. Every single time. I don't know. I was so scared, like, of people viewing me as a poor black person who needs some saving. And also, when I come here, like, I think that was the first time. Within the first week, I had met like already like white guys who were trying to hit on me, and they had this mindset that you're such a poor girl. Oh, you've come from Kenya. Oh, you. I didn't want to be labeled as poor. I was like, why do you think I'm poor? Shame on you for thinking I'm poor. I can have a broken suitcase, but I am not poor.
I'm rich. It's only bad timing.
This is better. It's like when that joke that people usually make when you see someone repeatedly wearing the same clothes. And then you're like, I still have other clothes.
Yeah, so I feel like you feel like you want to explain, like, hey, it's just a coincidence every time we meet. Yeah.
So I felt like that was what was happening to me. Every single time, like, I was getting a hiccup here and there. But like, for me, it was my biggest hiccup is like accommodation is a big deal.
It is.
Yeah, for anyone that wants to come in as a student. And it's interesting because we both came in like differently.
So we both came in differently, but now we're both students, So I mean, like we said in the previous episode, it depends with what are your options. For you, you had amazing options where you had supportive parents who are willing to do anything. But for me, I needed an option that I was going to be able to afford the option. You know, there was no option of being funded by anyone. And at that time, the scholarships, so mimi, I went to university to sindikiza watu. I passed with the K40. So all the scholarships were like, do you have a first class honor? No. So that part, coming here, you can come here. There are so many ways of coming to Germany. Let's speak Germany because that's what I know. There's so many ways, guys. You don't necessarily need to come as an au pair. You don't necessarily need to come as a student through agent. There's so many cheap ways in the internet. Just look it up. We will put a link. No, we will not put a link. We will respond to the comments that request for the updates of how you can come here, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can come also with a job visa. I have had people who are coming with job visas. It was pretty easy for them.
Exactly. There's so many ways.
What else? What are the visa?
tourist visa, like
marriage
volunteer
visa. Volunteer. Yeah, there's so many ways.
Yeah.
So just do your research.
Do your research. So for me, I would say relocating has been one of the biggest things, biggest change that happened in my life, that has molded me in so many ways. Coming to Germany, having to, grow up here, and not grow up grow up mentally, emotionally, also.
And also being your own support system.
Exactly. That's what I wanted to say. It's lonely over here. Like when you are alone, you want to cry. At home you cry and your mom is like, "So what are you crying?" I value that. Like, yeah, because you have somebody, at least they're seeing you cry. Here you cry, you ask yourself, "Sister, why am I crying?" And then you tell yourself, it's okay. But at home, when you cry, even if you be asked rudely, you're like, somebody saw my tears. Yeah. But here I have learned, I've been molded, I've been broken, I've been uplifted. Relocating has been the biggest blessing in my life so far, because it was a dream that I wanted, and a dream that I watched come true, and a dream that is building this, young lady right now. If asked if I could turn back the hands of time, would I still choose to come to Germany? My answer would be yes. I would come to Germany.
Why would you still come to Germany?
Because it has put me in positions nothing else would put me. The milestones that I have grown, the mistakes that I've made, the choices that I've made over and over, good and bad, I think there is no other place that can offer me that. The growth, it taught me determination, it taught me consistency, even though.
No, but you had been consistent.
Yeah, so even though I'm studying for, don't ask me why it's 5 years and I'm still doing my master's. Even though it has been hard, it has been a lesson that you just can get it here. Yeah.
Awesome.
And you? What are your parting shots?
Well, if I could turn back the hands of time, would I still come back to Germany? I would.
Wow.
I think it's really, sometimes even when I'm thinking, especially now, like nowadays, I feel every single time I'm being taught the lesson of patience.
Yeah.
I have very slim patience for things. I'm always like, waiting quick money, quick results.
Yeah.
And then having to stay here, oh my gosh, and like the bureaucracy fast. It teaches you
patience.
Yeah, it teaches you how to breathe, meditate, do yoga, and then now solve this thing.
Yeah, that's
true.
I
think that was one of, like, I can feel I have grown so differently.
Yeah.
Also my thinking, it's very independent right now, and it feels so good to use money that you've actually worked hard for. Like my dad right now, he doesn't have to worry about like what does Joy do. Even like a while back, I didn't have a house to go to. And I was like, oh yeah, but I didn't feel like I was worried actually. So I think also the worry, I used to have a lot of anxiety in the past. And like being here, you have to like really learn how to
deal with that.
And to like solve problems really fast, because time doesn't wait for you.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
So.
And I think that's so beautiful that we get to experience that here. And I mean, don't be scared of following your dream wherever your dream takes you. Just go for it. You never know, like, it could be the best decision ever.
Yeah.
I mean, and also don't go back after 4 days. I mean,
yeah, that part.
You need a lot of resilience. You need a lot of patience. And guys, please, please, please inform yourselves.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's why we have this podcast. You can always ask us questions, and we'll be there to,
to expound, to share as much as you can.
Exactly.
Depending on our experiences.
Yes.
And yeah, it was really lovely to hear your story. I'm still not over very many things that you said, but the parts where you went back after 4 days, guys, who does that?
I know.
This girl is a blessed rich person.
Man, you're Auntie Mado incoming. Okay, you guys. I think this is where we close this episode. Thank you so much for those who have already subscribed, those who have already watched our previous video. Don't forget, links to all our social media platforms are in the description box below. And from us to you, goodbye.